It's a bill that had just enough support to pass today. We're talking about LB 574, which limits gender-affirming care for minors and bans abortions at roughly 12 weeks, if not a little sooner, of pregnancy.
Leading up to the vote today was an intense back and forth of polar opposite views among state senators, with protesters watching it unfold, watching until an outburst in the chamber in the first hour of today's final round debate.
I would ask that you clear the balconies.
We'll ask security to clear the balconies, please.
Today's two-hour debate started and ended pretty much right on time. Just after 4 p.m., the crucial vote to end debate, which needed a two-thirds majority, was taken, and it got the 33 votes required. Then the vote on the bill itself got the same result, 33 to 15. It now heads to the governor's desk, who is in support of it. Originally, 574 aimed to ban gender-affirming care for transgender minors in the state by outlawing things like puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and surgical procedures. But an amendment was added to it that only bans surgical procedures, and the state's chief medical officer and DHHS will instead regulate medications.
With this, a number of concerns have popped up, such as the state's single subject rule and a lack of exemptions for abortions and pregnancies where there are fatal fetal anomalies. Something else to note with the abortion aspect of this, that amendment carries an emergency clause with it, meaning once the bill is signed, it will go into effect. But on the transgender care side, that would take effect 90 days after this session ends. It wasn't just the voices of lawmakers that you could hear in the state capitol today. There was shouting and chanting from people out in the rotunda, just on the other side of the glass. Protesters, most of them against the bill.
Our reporter John Grinvald spent the afternoon either in the chamber or out in that rotunda hearing from Nebraskans. He joins us now live with a recap of what he has seen and heard today. John.
Kelsey, Cole, the Capitol building is now officially closed for the day, a day that saw history-making legislation pass through the unicameral. Hundreds of protesters gathered to make their voices heard in the rotunda. Chants to kill the bill spilled into the unicameral chamber, where state senators spent 2 hours debating legislation that limits gender-affirming care and abortion in the state.
This bill is about protecting children. That is it. It's titled Let Them Grow. Let them grow to be adults, and they can make whatever decisions it is that they want, and we will support and encourage and love them.
Make sure that folks see that veterans do support trans rights. We have family members that are trans. We love people who are trans. I don't want to see those rights taken from them simply because they're trans. I have family members that are women, obviously. My daughters, I don't want to see their rights lessened in this state.
Nebraska ACLU and Out Nebraska tell me that their fight isn't over. And though they're disappointed to see the results, they plan to drag the fight into the courts, citing many legal problems with the bill, including what they say is a violation of the single subject rule. Governor Pillen's office wouldn't tell us when he plans to sign the bill. We'll have the full story at 10. Reporting live in Lincoln, John Grunwald's 10/11 Now.
Lots to cover. Thanks, John.
Within minutes of the bill passing, reaction began to come down on both sides. Governor Jim Pillen issuing a statement saying in part, quote, "These kids deserve the opportunity to grow and explore who they are and want to be, and they can do so without making irreversible decisions that should be made when they are fully grown."
The ACLU of Nebraska also issued a statement following today's vote, saying in part, quote, "We refuse to accept this as our new normal. This vote will not be the final word. We are actively exploring our options to address the harm of this extreme legislation, and that work will have our team's full focus. This is not over, not by a long shot."